Hi, everyone. Thank you once again for joining Empowerment Network. This is Comfort Control from the UK, Andy, Anita, and of course, Jeffrey Mollock. What a powerful team again this night. Hello, Jeffrey. Welcome.
Hello, hello. Good day to you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for joining. Hello, Anita.
Hello, Comfort and Andy, and of course, it's really great to be here and get a chance to speak with Jeffrey for the first time. So, really excited about that.
Me
Yeah,
too.
sure. Andy and myself are excited to have you all here. Andy, are you excited?
Always.
Woohoo!
Score.
It's like, hi Andy, hi Comfort, hi Jeffrey.
I know. Yeah, Jeffrey, there's fire in the house. When you see Jeffrey, there's warmth, there's joy and everything. So, guys, thank you for joining, and of course, be ready to join in the chat in the conversation in the chat section, and do not forget to subscribe. Check out too for Jeffrey. He's doing so well. He is a great teacher when it comes to unpassive. Check out for his on YouTube channel, and you will never regret it. So, Jeffrey, the topic for today says the power of unpassive. And this is a kind of cut and paste because obviously it's all about you. It's all about the things that you say that get me like, oh my God. Sometimes you think that you know everything, but not until you listen to another person like Jeffrey. So you have been saying a lot, and one of the things we just want to know when you're talking about the power of unpassive, like you say, the power of unpassive goes beyond value. We don't get it anymore because all along we've been like, it's all about value. So can you explain this to us again, please?
Yeah, I can start at the beginning and really explain what that is, or we can dissect it to any direction you want to go. But
Sure.
basically, when I'm talking about on passive, obviously, Mr. Mufar's the most favorite quote in the whole world I've got of his is when he is on and he says, there is no company on the planet that's going to give you more value. And then he says, wait a minute, let me try it again. And like 5 times, he says, let's say it 5 more times. He's got that glint, that mischievousness in his eye, right? But he's basically saying nobody's going to give you more value than on passive. Now, I've taken it one step further than that and saying that we go beyond that type of value, because what he's saying, even at the end of that statement, he says, nobody's going to give you more value than on passive. And what you don't necessarily see is or hear is for the cost. And that's pretty much what he says throughout. And he's absolutely spot on, dead on the money. It was designed to be that way. And that's the way it is. Now, my interpretation of on passive is and I've used the term before, gestalt, which simply means that something is got more value than the sum of its parts. And I used in that particular video that you're talking about, I talked about a car. And I said, look, a car today's got about 30,000 parts in it. And if you have those parts in your inventory, there's an obvious dollar amount of value you could attach to that. But when you take those parts and you put it together, and now you've got a Ferrari or a Volkswagen, whatever it is, a vehicle, that vehicle is more valuable simply because of what it allows you to do. This is what I refer to when I'm talking about on passive, because on passive has got some components to it, some elements or some legs, if you will, that when you put all of those together, it's going to allow you to do a lot more than you ever would had you had just one of those or 2 of those or 3 of those together, because on passive literally is the evolution of business. I mean, can I keep going? You want me to keep going? Okay. When you look at business, right, and you're thinking, okay, back in the early days, back in these 16, 17, 1800s, right, going into the 1900s, the 20th century, we had what was called globalization. You had, like, the first globalization was between, like, 1840 and 1890 or something like that. I'm just pulling dates out of it. I mean, that's close, but that's not specific. The second one was a period beyond that. And that brought us into the 20th century or early 1900s. But beginning in the 1980s, we've got the third era of globalization, which I explain as economic globalization, right? And that basically was saying, okay, we've now gone to the whole world. All the companies, we're a global net. We're able to interact. We're constantly going across borders digitally, you know, and doing trade and finance and all of that. So that's where we were in the 80s. Coming out of the 80s and come into the turn of the century, we have another evolution in that we have a trend that's called conscious business. OnPassive is one of those conscious businesses. So when you look at what a conscious business is, it simply says, you know what, we're not going by the old sciences that taught us that there was disconnection or there was separation, there was no unity, that we're not connected, you know, we're all in competition, there's conflict. And the basis of that trickled into our business. And so businesses in the past, and even now, most of them, whether you're talking medical or societal or whatever, corporations are bent on that particular ideology, saying, I need to know what's good for my company because what's good for my company is good for me, as opposed to a conscious business that says, we're putting a business together that we want to know what's good for the people and good for the planet, and then that's the way we're going to go. So we've come into that paradigm, and OnPassive is a big, big part of that paradigm shift. That's why that ebook was called The Paradigm Shift That Is OnPassive. Because also coming into the new century, coming in past, especially 2011. 2011 was very, very important for conscious awareness and the rise of human consciousness. And by that, I'm simply meaning our own awareness of who we are and what we do and how our heart reacts and sends out the energies that Andy was talking about earlier. So when you take all of these things together, then we can realize that OnPassive is a conscious company that has at its base, in its core, the need, the want. They even put it in our vision statement, right? To be a sustainable, or what's the word he says? To effectively be, or something like that, a sustainable stimulus for the globe, global stimulus, meaning that we're going to economically, positively impact, give to people to lift the economic situation and to lift people up into abundance. So when we talk about OnPassive going beyond the traditional value that we see in companies and or whatever we do, we're talking about him, Mr. Mufara in particular, marrying, right, together, if you will, that AI, that digital transformation, which is a subset of our evolution. You know, you went from that globalization, then some of these companies that are IT people like we are, we go into digital transformation. And then underneath that, you have collaborative spaces, which is our OES. So you can see, you know, that's a good, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a video on the OnPassive and business evolution. But when we get to OnPassive, now you've got a business that has as much heart as it does technology, and it's not based on separation and competitiveness and conflict. It's based on quantum sciences and quantum physics that say, hey, we had it wrong. The universe is all about connectivity. It's all about doing what's right for others as opposed to focusing on ourselves. And that's what I'm talking about, because OnPassive has a multi-level goal of taking care of its customers, taking care of the users, ensuring their success in that they have complete control of their lives, especially in the financial arenas. But not only that, but they are also encouraging us individually, right? A corporation, this is unheard of. They are individually encouraging us, saying, look, our corporation stands for heart and doing what's right and blessing others before self. We want you to do that too. And to help you do that, we're laying this ecosystem out, which is a collaborative space. It's got every resource you need to find your passion and go after it and create success in your life. And when you do, remember where you came from and go to your family, go to your roots, go to your community, spread yourself out and share that abundance. So that's what I mean. all these things together make On Passive, and I'm wearing the word out, it's a gestalt. It is bigger than just the sum of its parts. So that's what I mean by value. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. You know, so I think Key Wendell just said the professor is on fire. So Anita, I'm just letting you go. I'm just happy. I was so excited about you walking us through the evolution of business till the 21st century.
I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to do a video on that.
Sure, definitely. So, Anita, it's all yours. I don't know where you want to come from. Just
Oh God,
do a
how
thing.
on earth do you follow that? But you know, look, the thing is, everyone knows me that I have to kind of write some notes down because my memory is so rubbish. But I did make some notes down because there's things I really wanted to say, you know, tonight, knowing that Jeffrey was going to be here, because I watched that really great video that Jeffrey's done, and if people haven't seen that, they really need to watch that. You know, I mean, it's about the power of OnPassive, obviously, which is what tonight's about. You know, when you listed everything there, Jeffrey, you know, and you think about things like you listed the products, okay, the global offices, the partnerships, the marketing. We're talking about adds up the, you know, Burj Khalifa, the train station, you know, the largest Ferris wheel in the world, right? You know, it's hard to believe that OnPassive only actually launched paid products literally in September. So we're just talking weeks ago. Do you list all of that? You know, and you think, my God, you know, so people in a way have to kind of forget about before. Okay, we're just lucky that we know all that kind of stuff. You know, people kind of question what Ash has been doing for 5 years. That list alone is just not even all of it. That's just some of it, right? Let me just explain one thing to you here, not to you, but to people watching this that might need this explanation. There is something actually called product development, right? A product development cycle, should I say? And I'm not going to go into it too much, right? Just briefly. But there's actually 7 stages, right? Stage one, ideation. I think you say it like that, ideation. And that is basically the ideas and brainstorming. Okay. Number 2, validation. It's where they do surveys and, you know, get website data and test things and whatever. Number 3, your prototyping, you know, whether it's a product or your website or software or whatever it is you want to bring to the, you know, to launch. Number 4, marketing. Okay, press releases, social media. Now, this is where the power of OnPassive really is, right? Because, you know, we've gone really big on this marketing. I mean, when you think about things like sponsors of beIN Sports in the World Cup and a train station, come on, people, right? So then, you know, then you've got number 5 is development, right? That's when it all comes together. Then you've got 6, which is the launch. And then you've got 7, and this is really important, number 7, improvement. Okay, and that is where things get added, like extra features and stuff like that. And you know what? Most people, entrepreneurs even, Joe public, they just don't realize, you know, that even just one simple feature of a product, it dramatically increases development cost and time, you know? And that's really basically something that OnPassive has done, isn't it? Okay, that no other company has ever done before, and they've launched to the public, you know, as a huge unicorn company, right, with millions of customers. And there's large companies out there have launched one product from a garage. So how powerful OnPassive is blows your mind. And if it hasn't done so far, you need to recap and re-listen and look at just what OnPassive truly is about. And that's without all the other stuff, all the heart, all the, you know, the stuff we're going to do there as well. So that's really what I wanted to get out tonight.
Oh my God. Guys, this is what you get when you get powerful people put together on what platform. Everybody comes from their perspective and the puzzle fits like perfectly. So Andy, the mic is yours.
I must be quite weird actually, because I'm thinking about this from a totally different perspective.
That's the beauty of OnPassive, Andy.
Yeah, absolutely. We're a diversification, Jeffrey. There's such a difference between this company and so many others that we've all heard of. You know, we've all heard of the big tech giants that are out there, and Collins will tell you, as a software specialist, generally most companies take on their staff for a project, and after that project's finished, they kind of shake hands, say goodbye, and they're off. And it takes these software engineers years to perfect one product. Yeah. Now, the biggest difference here is that our staff are here for life. They're not going anywhere. We don't want them to go anywhere. They're here for their career. All right. And so OnPassive looks at it from that perspective. So this company has been able to achieve the building and creation of over 50 products in the same time span that would have normally taken, you know, one production team 4 or 5 years to do. That's incredible on its own. But Jeffrey's mentioned we're more than just products. Products are our lifeblood. And if I just relate it to one single business venture for online entrepreneurs, if you're an affiliate marketer, you're trying to sell one piece of software. Yeah, and you're trying to get it out there, and that's your income revenue stream. And then you have to go to another company to get another bit of software to be able to offer that out via affiliate marketing, and another company, and you have to go to that company and get it, and you get a bit of a commission. Now, we have, you know, coming on board over 50 products, and every single one of those is a different income stream, and every single one of those are under one umbrella. So from an affiliate marketer or an email marketer or you know, any of these type of online businesses, this is the last business you'd ever need, because every single product is a different income stream. And every single product, as Jeffrey's quite rightly pointed out, is value for money. So you've got products that are far superior, AI induced, 3 years ahead of the curve, a fraction of the cost of most of the other products on the marketplace, but far superior. And by the way, you get a commission for offering it to others. And if you're going to use these products in your own business, how would you like to get paid to use those products in your own business instead of having to pay for them each and every month? You go, for me, that's a no-brainer. So it's not just about the energy that this is creating, it's about the system. The whole thing differs from anything else we've ever seen. We don't have shareholders. We're not beholden to people that say, I want a profit, I want a profit. No, what we've done is they've created this behemoth that actually is there to help others create wealth for themselves and then lift others as they go along. Now that's something that's never been done before, and more and more companies are going to have to look at this system and go, do you know what, if we want to be as successful as this company, we're going to have to rethink our strategies here. That is the power of OnPassive for me. That's an incredible opportunity, an incredible situation to be in.
It's just crazy. And of course, let's see where we go from here. So earlier on, Jeffrey, you said you described the OES, the OnPassive ecosystem, as a collaborative space. Could you throw more light to that, please?
Yeah, absolutely. When we look at what on passive is done, and this is again, this actually speaks to the whole evolution of business and everything, because until things really went digital, we didn't have, I mean, a collaborative space was when you and I got in the room and we started talking with each other, right? I mean, there wasn't any of this virtual space or virtual stuff that we've got now, that we've evolved into. So, I mean, life is pretty good back then, but it's gotten a whole lot better. But concerning the OES specifically, with regard to being a collaborative space, we should probably first define what a collaborative space is, and that is simply it's a digital space that has resources that we can use to achieve whatever means or whatever ends it is that we're looking to try to accomplish. In so much as On Passive is an IT, right, a information technology AI company, a lot of people only see the OES. That's all. It's like they got blinders on, which is why I'm always screaming, "That's not all we are." You know, it's not all we are. But they see the OES and they go, "Oh, this is cool because I do websites and they've got something I can do a website with." But there is so much more than just doing a website, because they've also, as Andy pointed out, it's all under one roof, right? It's there. It's all integrated to work together. So not only can they do the website, but you can also go in and get your VPN, right? Your security. You can go in, you can get your domain names. You've got graphics programs, teaching programs, webinar programs. You've got mailing and marketing. You've got places that you can put your products on if you want to. I mean, there's anything and everything, which absolutely means that once you start doing this, you're going to be meeting a ton of other people. And those folks, millions of us right now, because we've got the 1.4 million founder accounts or charter member accounts, I'll put it that way. And we've got, I'm assuming, millions that are coming in because of that very, very cool branding we're doing, right? So we've got millions of people under the same roof. We all share the same types of wants and needs and desires, and we all know we've got something now that'll let us do it. So we're making connections. We are being connected globally. We literally have a net around the world. So our whole world is one big collaborative space, and in that we've got every tool we need to do whatever it is that we want to do. And that's kind of the layman's terms, in my opinion, of what collaboration is. And you know, Anita had talked about a little bit ago when she was saying, you know, that we have these partnerships. Ash says strategic partnerships because, like Andy, he's thinking, all right, products are our lifeline, and these are going to help us to get visibility and all of this. Whereas some folks call them collaborative agreements because, you know what, now we're working together. We're both profiting from our individual efforts, and together we're more than what we would be apart. So collaboratively, there's nothing bigger, better, sweeter, redder, faster than On Passive.
Okay, thank you. So, Anita, I'll just leave it open. It could be you have something new to bring in or to comment on what Jeffrey says. It's all yours, please.
Yeah, well, just really going back to what Jeffrey was saying a little while ago about cars, really. You know, I had this thought a little while ago. You know, I've got a friend that's not in On Passive at all, and continually says to me, "Oh, so what's happening? What's happening now?" You know, and you know, it's like, God, you just cannot get it across to some people about the different stages. And like I just listed those 7 stages, I listed those in brief. You know, there's a lot more to each stage, and we're at that stage now where lots of things are, you know, Ash is having to deal with different things, and we all know at the moment there's been payment processor things, but they'll be sorted, just like each thing is sorted. But what I keep saying to her is, in particular, I keep saying, listen, can you just forget that you knew anything about On Passive for the last 5 years, right? Just pretend you didn't know me. You didn't see me blurting it out all over Facebook, all about On Passive and their products and everything else. Okay, if you were waiting just for, like, you know, another mobile phone to come out or a great car to come out, you don't really care what they've done the last 5 years to get it there. You just look at the product and go, wow, that's great, and I want it, right? But you see, because we had that, in a way, that privilege we had of being able to be on that ride, you know, with Ash, we've kind of been like on that road where we've done beta testing and all sorts, and people don't get that. They just don't get it because it's not been done before. It's not been out there publicly. People haven't known about all the people that have sat around a table with someone designing the next latest car. So this is something just so unique. We've been saying it all along. So what I really feel is what people need to do is forget the last 5 years. You are in On Passive from September the 1st. Okay? We all know what we've done the last 5 years, but I'm talking now from a perspective of getting it out there to the public, getting people to, and new people coming in that want to be resellers as well as customers. September 1st. And they go, wow, look at this company, how huge it is when they've launched. And we are going to be, and Ash has said it before, we are going to one day be something that people in universities, when they're studying business, they're going to be studying our company, how On Passive did it. Because we're the only person to have done what we've done, you know, to date. And I doubt there's going to be someone else in our lifetime that does it again. So, you know, we are going to be followed. We are going to be studied. People they will love the business model. Forget all the last 5 years. Oh, well, yeah. I thought they said they were launching. You know, you get people going, I thought they launched last year. They did 3 products on beIN Sports during the World Cup. Now, if that's not huge, I don't know what is. So, you know, this is why I feel now it's come on, September 1st. This is when On Passive really got here.
Yeah. You know what? You're absolutely right. That was something that I didn't put into my whole On Passive Power video thing, that we had one-ups. I mean, the beIN Sports was huge. But what we're forgetting is all the small media outlets and all the articles and the interviews and the press releases that had been done. I mean, bum, like firecrackers out, you know, on New Year's Eve or something, right? And Andy, you mentioned perfecting products. The culture that On Passive, that Mr. Mufara has created, is engaging these techs, these developers, these engineers, because you're absolutely right. They would go to a company, they would be hired for a project, and they would be under contract for a year and a half, whatever, and then they're off to the next big thing. They can breathe easy because Ash is saying, we're bringing you on. Here's our vision, and we don't ever expect to let you go because we're never going to stop doing what we do. So you've got a home with us, and that lets them not only breathe easy, but that lets them really get creative, knowing that they don't have to hold back because they don't have to save anything for back in the going somewhere else, right? So that work environment, the whole culture and everything really helps that. You also talked about the timing of On Passive. If you take what you were talking about, every business model that we've got, or excuse me, not business model, but each product, only digital products, just look at the digital products that we've got in queue for the next year and a half, 2 years, a couple dozen of them easy. And you kind of relate that and say, okay, let's see, it took Zoom from 2012 to 2018 to create a product and become profitable. Okay, so that's one product. Now here we are with 24 products that are just about ready to roll them out in sequence strategically. And people are going, but yeah, you've been at it for 5 years. We should have been at it for 20 years. So as far as I'm concerned, we're 10 years ahead of schedule, and we're still beyond the market. We're still ahead of the market. So, man, I mean, life for us is really good. So in this way, with that and the way that we're doing it, the corporate philosophy, the heart that I talk about, as well as the products and the profit and the entire culture, every bit of that is setting the standard. That's the new standard of the shift that is happening globally. So anybody looking at us from the outside looking in goes, wow, that's going to be a hard act to follow. But even more important than that, when you have people that are on the outside and they are those people that are corrupt, they are those businesses that are charging way too much for an inferior product, and or they're hoarding all of it and keeping it for themselves and making a few people at the top of their whatever rich off the backs of their employees, right? Those are the people that are just going to fall by the wayside, because this is a new system, it's a new paradigm, and if they don't keep up, they will disappear and go by way of the dinosaurs. So it's as simple as that. And Anita, you were talking about business plan. Mr. Mufara came out 2 years ago and said, look, here's the 10-point business plan. This is how we're doing it. I remember doing a video. Boom, 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 boom. So anybody that wants to know what this business plan is, it's there. Just Google, 10-point business plan on passive. I'm guaranteed it's there. So it's not like he's trying to keep anything. He's saying, here, take it, use it. And as long as I'm on that theme, Mr. Mufara has done this his entire life. He's been in 25 years in marketing, and in every position he's been in, even now, even as an executive in GDI right now, who still holds a world record for marketing, okay, in that company. Even back then, he was taking and building systems and giving them to people around him so they would be more successful. He's doing the same thing here with us now. So that business plan is out there. And yeah, but you know what? Last week, I put out something because I think that it is important for the new people coming in, for the new members and their members. As much as you and I are a member, they are members and they are part of the On Passive family. And we need to know what our story is. So I would encourage you, go back. I put out a 12-minute video, giving a brief 5-year synopsis of where we've been, where we came from, and where we are right now. There's a video. It's called 2018, From There to Here. And know your story. Because if we don't know our own story, then we really can't get connected with it and feel a part of it and really be grateful for what we've got. And I'll stop. I didn't mean to preach. Sorry.
That's not passive, Jeffrey. There's nothing you can do about it. So I'll let Andy say something, and then Jeffrey, you just comment on one point, and then we'll wrap up, because everybody's quite very excited now. Apparently, we have a meeting with Ash at the top of the hour. So Andy, I'd let you say something, and then Jeffrey.
Well, Jeffrey's stolen the show. I got nothing to say. No, collaborative space. It's like relating, enhancing products for businesses. So again, give you a brief example. Companies that use. Well, I know of a lot of individuals that now do video conferencing interviews with their clients. So not only can you therefore use the products that we have, but they enhance your business, and at the same time would allow you or enable you to increase your income, your net worth, because everyone pays. If they're going to use a video conferencing platform, they're going to pay for it somewhere along the line. Now, this is totally different from the point of view that at some point very quickly, you'll get to a stage where you're getting paid to use the product. So why would you ever go anywhere else? And like Jeffrey said, because you've got this suite of different products under one roof, you go, oh, well, I'm using that one at the moment. That's really good. I like that one. But look at this. This will help me too. And when we have things like specific targeted traffic, there isn't a company on the planet that doesn't need specific targeted traffic. It's not your haphazard pay-per-click. It's specific targeted traffic. You got somebody looking for what you got on offer, that's where it goes. So, from a collaborative space point of view, there are so many companies that can enhance not only their business and at the same time increase their overall income. If I look at it from a financial services point of view, every single consultant does a video conferencing with their customers. So you got the opportunity then to be able to build a secondary income via you just simply using a product, because every single customer that you then speak to registers to use the same platform. Okay, great. But if you look at it from the company perspective, the overall company perspective, they say, hold on a second, we want to do a worldwide meeting, because we've got guys in Japan, we've got guys in South America, we've got guys in the States, in Europe, whatever. You want to be able to create this atmosphere. But hold on a second, with Zoom, I'm limited to 20,000, and we know we've got more than that. Hold on a second, we've got this opportunity to do that. So every single employee then is registered to use OConnect. But the company therefore has an income coming in from that, which they can then use, if you like, for the benefit of the consultants in the form of a Christmas do or bonuses for those that achieve X amount or whatever it might be. You've got a choice. That's the key. So that's really where I think.
Let me this seems to be a hot topic and I love it, so I'm going to have to address it, and then I'm going to address it in another video because I love it. Oddly enough, Engineer Mike was on this morning and he had a killer presentation that touched on this. So this is obviously something coming up within the consciousness of OnPassive. Okay, so you asked about the OnPassive ecosystem, and you specifically wanted to know more about what it was concerning collaborative, whatever the collaborative space. And
the OES as a collaborative space.
Okay, yeah. Let's look at that a little bit, right? Because I said back then, I said, oh, well, it kind of goes into the whole business evolution thing, right? Because it goes like this, and give me 30 seconds. We'll see if we can flesh this out. It goes like this. It goes like economic globalization. And then in that, one trend is conscious businesses, right? And from that and into that, it drills down and you get to digital transformation. And then out of digital transformation, you come up with collaborative spaces. And I said, that's what the OES is with OnPassive, right? A collaborative workspace is it's somewhere digitally, like he was talking about OConnect or Academy or some place where you can go digitally that offers a digital work environment that gives us the workers, right, secure access to apps and to files and to resources so that we can work together efficiently, right, and effectively on any device. And that's big, that's huge, because that speaks not only to the OES, but the OES digital platform and all the products and the apps that go with them because of the on-the-go lifestyle that we've talked about, right? So collaborating in this sense, using the OES as a collaborative space, that's just part of our evolution, and that's where everybody's going to go. We're just showing the best way to do it. And believe me, this is no longer just a trend. You're going to have digital collaboration or collaboration spaces if you're going to survive in today's IT or information technology market. And the OES is our version of that collaborative space, which is a software as a service platform, right? An ecosystem, like every other ecosystem. It is a interconnection of other systems, whole systems that has a life of its own. Ours just happens to be digital. It does a couple of things really, really well. Okay, it automates businesses and business growth, and it accelerates the innovation that fuels that growth, right? No matter whose growth that is. So whoever is working in there and doing all this, man, if you're in it, you're going to win. Simple as that. Took more than 30 seconds. Sorry.
Right. Listen, this is a powerful topic. There's so much to learn from here. So
Yeah.
we are going to adjourn. I'll keep the next point instead of us starting it now, and I'd rather give you 30 seconds each to just make a closing remark. But I think Anita should definitely have something to say after you both have spoken. So
Well, just apart from all the tech stuff and all the rest of it that obviously Andy and Jeffrey's gone into there, being with On Passive is just fun and exciting, and it doesn't need to be complex and difficult and technical and everything else. It's so easy. So don't get bogged down with all the techie stuff. Just come along and join us. It's really simple to register into the ecosystem, and you can't break anything. Register, play around with some of our free products and our free trial of OConnect. So I'll end it there, and just to say it was great talking with you, Jeffrey. It's been brilliant.
all right. Over to you, Andy.
What about me, Anita? No, just Jeffrey. Okay, again, I
get
it. No, that's fine.
No,
It's
just
fine.
say something. Somebody's watching for the first time. Just address that particular
I talk with you every week, nearly, Andy. So
You know what, Comfort? I feel like Andy's getting beat up here. I yield my 30 seconds to Andy. Andy, you got a full minute, brother. Go for it.
I just want to enlarge on Anita's point. The business is simple. I'm not technically minded in the slightest. I don't understand how half of these things work, but I don't need to. I don't understand how electricity works, but I can turn a light switch on. And that's exactly what the company is doing for us. At the end of the day, they're building us a business. All we have to do is to simply share it. And I've said this earlier this evening. Red uses a wonderful analogy about going to a restaurant, and the restaurant, the food is fantastic. You come home, you tell your friends, your family, and the people go and start using this restaurant. Now, we don't get paid to do that because we've introduced business to this restaurant, but we've got exactly the same with what we have with On Passive. The only simple difference is when we introduce this to others, and because of the excitement of all of the opportunities that we have in front of us, we're going to tell people about it. And when we do, we're going to actually earn a commission from some of these people, which is phenomenal. Now, they're going to get value for money, but we're going to get paid for it. Now, what business could be better? Over to you, Jeffrey.
Oh, back to you, Jeffrey.
No, I gave you my 30 seconds, man.
No, well, I give you mine. I'm not going to say anything. I give my 30 seconds to you, Jeffrey.
Well, I'm going to agree with what they both just said. I think we're all in agreement here that it doesn't have to be that simple. You know what? Life is the same way. If you will just trust life and trust God to do what is good for you and follow your passion, life doesn't come at you. It comes to you, and you will draw it to you. It doesn't have to be complicated. Life should be effortless, right? On Passive is the same way. You don't have to work at it and make it hard. Get on the back of On Passive and let them do what they're doing. But that's why they're doing it. For us, for the user, for our success, for humanity. And thank you.
Thank you, Jeffrey. So, guys, if you are watching and you are not yet part of On Passive, I'm closing on this note, borrowing something Anita said earlier on. We are going to be followed and we are going to be studied. There's still room for you if you are not in here yet. Just join in the numbers, and of course, you are definitely going to be followed. You are going to be studied. That is On Passive for you. Thank you, guys. See you at the very top in less than 15 minutes with Ash. Thank you. Wonderful evening. Thank you, all family, and see you soon.
Thank you.
Much love from the studio to you all.